What's going on, folks? It's your main man, Mr. Council. Back with another one. Saturday motivation. You know how we do. I chose Saturday because Saturday is a day that's uniquely your own. Most people work a 9 to 5, so by the time they get to Saturday, they feel as if it's the time to take the foot off the gas. But most artists, creatives, business minds understand that Saturday is the day to put your foot on the gas and handle your business. I'm not going to hold you long today. I just want to discuss something about obstacles. Um, Obstacles are your opportunities to show who you are and if you're ready for what God has for you. I used to think that the world was punishing me when I was going through different things when I was younger. And I didn't understand because I always was told when you put your mind to something, you put your hard work in, then it'll happen. And that's true for the most part. But oftentimes when you're a person that's led like me by God, things are not going to happen in your time. And they're not going to happen in your time because you're not all knowing. You don't even understand the mission that God truly has for you. And so when you think that you're in total control of what's going on, you're sadly mistaken when you're a person that's trying to be led. If you're the type of person that thinks you're in control of everything, I can't speak for you. You do what you need to do. But I understand that I'm being led, and there's certain things that I'm being used for that I don't even understand. And if I really want to accomplish what I truly want to accomplish, I have to be the man that I need to be in order to accomplish those things. I can't have a bunch of flaws sitting following me. And I'm not saying I have to be flawless, because I'm always going to be, I'm human. I'm a human being. I'm always going to make mistakes. I'm always going to misjudge situations. I'm not always going to be the best. But God is putting you through things to prepare you. And if you see it through that lens, then you won't get upset when you go through something. I used to be so quick-tempered whenever something would happen. Because I just didn't understand. As hard as I work, why do things keep happening to me? Why do things keep happening to me? And that's a selfish outlook, because things are happening to everybody. And when you think that the world is just coming for you, you have a jaded perception. And so whenever an obstacle comes my way now, I don't look at it as if the world is trying to punish me. I look at it as God trying to build me, try to make me stronger, wiser, ready for a situation that I might not foresee coming in the future. So you can't look at an obstacle that you're going through and think of it as the world defeating you. It's God trying to build you up and prepare you for something that's coming down the line. And we have to look at it through that lens. Obstacles are your opportunity to show your true character in situations. You have to show exactly who you are, so when God puts you in the position to where he wants you, can you handle it? I think about Jackie Robinson when he was first getting into the Negro Leagues. And he wasn't the very best black baseball player available. There were other black baseball players that were just as gifted and just as talented as he was. But the difference between him and the reason why he was the one that was chosen is because the character of the man. He had the temperament to, when he was being placed in racist situations, that he could control himself, because they knew, having the first black man playing the baseball leagues, if that black man showed emotion and got out of character, that they could use that against all of us, all black men. Right? They knew they could use that against all of us. So when Branch Rickey chose him to play for the Dodgers, he was looking for a man with thick skin who could handle racist taunts, be in an environment to where he felt alone and felt frustrated, but he could still handle himself as a man and as a player on the field. And that's exactly what I want to be able to be. I want to be able to handle myself in all situations. Even if those situations make me uncomfortable, those situations bring me anger, or rage. I want to be able to control myself in all situations and be able to show the true character of a man so I can accomplish the mission that God has for me, because my gift isn't my own. It's not about me. It's about what God has planned for me, and that's why I can't plan everything. All I can do is prepare myself through being the best at my gifts. And I know what my gifts are. My gift is in music, my gift is in speaking, and my gift is in teaching. Those are 3 gifts that I was placed with. And so as long as I improve in all those gifts, God will move me where he wants me. I remember when I had my first job teaching, I hit the ground running, and I was pretty good. But I ended up having some difficulties with my first boss. We didn't see eye to eye on a lot of things. And I understand now as a grown man what she was trying to do for me. As a young man, I didn't understand that, and I didn't appreciate her then. But I understand now what she was trying to do for me. But the reason why God made me uncomfortable in that situation is because he didn't need me there anymore. He needed to move me. And he moved me to it. I stepped out on faith. I ended up leaving that job early, and I stepped out on faith. I didn't understand where the world was taking me, but I knew it wasn't going to be there anymore. And see, that's what God will do. He'll place you in a situation that's so uncomfortable when he's ready for you to move. If you don't know when to move, understand that once you're in your place where you're the most uncomfortable, that's when it's your time to move. That's when it's your time to leave. A lot of people that are searching for when, I don't know when to leave, I don't know where. You got to step out on faith, number one. But God will show you by making you uncomfortable. We don't want to be uncomfortable. We like to live in our comfortable place. That's what I was talking about last week. Were you comfortable in your mess? And oftentimes people are, because people are afraid of change. But ultimately you have to embrace change when you're being led, because you never know where God is going to take you. But you have to be prepared to stand in that sand once he brings you there, and be able to thrive and develop through your gifts. So your job is to work on your gifts, work on your craft. And he's not going to put you in a place just because you want to be there. He's going to put you there because you're ready to be there. And so your gift can be inspirational and long lasting to whoever he needs it to be inspirational to. And you might not know who that person is. You might be inspiring somebody that you don't like. But somebody that you don't like is destined to do something great. So remove yourself. Just because you don't like that person doesn't mean that that person isn't destined for something great. And you can't block that person's blessing because of anger and frustration and hatred. We have to get those feelings out of ourselves. So understand, ladies and gentlemen, your obstacles are your opportunities to show your true character. And how you respond to those obstacles is ultimately going to be what takes you to the next level or not. Because if you are not ready, you will not get to the next level. I remember me and my brother Jackson years ago, we used to throw comedy shows. And we put on some really good shows. And for most of our really good shows, nobody showed up. It was a handful of people, the same people that would come all the time. And then I remember we were at Two Boots, that's gone now, downtown Bridgeport. And we had a show where we had the most people. And because we were so focused on making money, that was our worst show. The show that we had the most people show up to was the worst show. I mean, we had shows that were amazing when we had 6 or 7 or 10 people in the crowd. And then the night we finally get about 60, 70 people, we fell flat on our face, and that's because we weren't ready. And God was showing us our mission and our mindset was in the wrong place. We were too focused on money and not focused enough on entertaining and working on our craft. And so we fell on our face, flat on our face in that show. But we were able to learn from it and move forward. So you have to understand your obstacles are also tests. Test to see if you're ready for the position that God has for you. And if you're not ready, he's not going to move you yet. It's just as simple as that. We're working on his time and not our own. And until you accept that, you will not truly be used the way that you need to be used. Even if you gain monetary success, That's not necessarily going to make you happy. You got to be happy on the inside. So then when the monetary success comes, you know exactly what to do with that money, and not hoard it to yourself and be selfish, but use it for the good of mankind. And that's what most people do not do. They get all that success, they become greedy, and then it changes them. I don't want to be like that. I want to use my gifts and talents to uplift and empower other people. Even people I don't think that deserve it, because it's not. Ultimately, I'm not the judge. God is the judge at the end of the day, not me. And so all my job is to focus on my 3 gifts and talents. Being the best singer and songwriter that I can be, performer as well. Being the best teacher that I can be, and being the best speaker and motivator that I can be. And then as soon as I'm truly ready as a man, the character of me is ready, then God will put me in the game, just like he did Jackie Robinson. But you can't be put into the game until you're ready, because then when you're faced with an obstacle in front of the public eye, how are you going to handle it? Is your world going to crash and burn, or are you going to stand tall as a man? Even if you go through something negative in front of other people, your true character is going to show. But what's going to show when they pull up your skirt? Are you going to be a man and stand in your responsibilities and what you're supposed to be doing and what you understand, or are you going to crumble under the pressures of the world? And I don't want to crumble. I want to be elevated, and I want to elevate the people around me and inspire the people around me, and that's my job, and that's what I'm going to do day after day after day, because that's what God has put in me. So I'm not standing up here. I know I talk about God a lot. I'm not here to be a preacher. That's not where my goal and aims are. And if eventually God tells me that that's what I'm supposed to do, then I'll do that, because I'll be an obedient servant, because at the end of the day, I'm a servant. But right now, I'm just inspiring people through my stories and through the small amounts of wisdom that God has blessed me with. And hopefully that resonates with you. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe. But understand today, ladies and gentlemen, your obstacles, they're tests. They're here to test your character, to see if you're ready for the mission that God has for you. And if you're ready, I guarantee you, he'll put you exactly where you need to be to shine and take care of all your needs. This is Mr. Counsel. We're doing it again every Saturday. Motivation. You better get on board. Like, comment, subscribe. Share this with your friends. Share it with your family if it's touching you in some way. And I want to thank everybody for staying with me week after week after week, because we're not going to stop, because we're here to inspire, we're here to uplift, and we're here to do some great things. And so I want to thank you all for listening. And I want you to understand, when you go through something, the next time you go through something, don't think that the world is crashing in on you. God is trying to show you something, and open your eyes so you can see it. Take your emotional issues out of it, and just see it for what God is trying to build inside you, and it'll change your perspective on everything that you go through. That's my time. Peace to all my people in the struggle.